kind of was just sitting here and wondering why I don't try out Chaos Gloom. So I think we're going to. Hey everyone, welcome. This is episode number 9 in our Heroic Challengers solo progression series here on our Wind Archer. And just like that, that is how we got into Sea Gloom. Kind of just felt like doing it one day and wanted to see if I could potentially do it. This is a really deceptive boss, I would say, just because it's really hard to tell, for me at least, whenever I'm actually able to do this boss. Mostly because you can only, fight him during those small breaks whenever it does open, so it's always kind of hard for me to tell when I'm ready to do this boss. Even now, whenever I go back and I know I can do the boss in like 15 minutes, it still is kind of deceptive, and I don't really know if I'm going to be able to do it that fast until I actually get to it. Unfortunately, we're going to have to see how much slower it is once we do get all of our buffs from the event drop off. That's going to be a really sad day. But here we are, doing Sea Gloom. It's a pretty chill boss fight. It's pretty much the exact same boss as normal, but just a little bit harder, and a lot of the things that do hit you are a lot more likely to kill you. But even then, a lot of them aren't one-shots, except for when the eye opens up. I'm pretty sure those are one-shots, but either way, as long as you have a decent amount of movement and are maybe able to go into stealth or something, like if you're a thief class, then this is probably not a big deal for you at all with any of the falling balls. Overall, this is such a chill boss. I would highly recommend anyone that has, remotely close CP to just go give it a couple tries. This boss did take me, I think, around 3 or 4 tries, and it wasn't too bad. It was kind of frustrating because I was greeding for damage a lot of the time, trying to just make sure I get as good a time as possible. I didn't want to get to the wire at the very end and, just barely not kill it. So I did greed a few times, and that did cost me a few lives, but that's totally fine because we got the kill in the end. And as far as the rest of the episode goes, we do have a bit of just scattered progression over the character, whether that is like crafting progression or just account as a whole progression. We might even have some more boss progression too. There's really not much more going on past this. We only have one more week left until, or as I voice over this, one more week left until we do hop our character back over to Kronos. So there's honestly just not a ton of stuff to even go over anymore. I wanted to finish this series right as the first leap happened and we started the new event. It would feel like a really nice close to the series, and we'll have 10 episodes total, which kind of seems perfect. And also, I've been making a ton of progress and spending a ton of time on this new Hyperburn that we got with the recent Hyperburn coupon, so that's where most of my time has been spent, and why these videos are probably likely going to be a little bit later than you would like. And so that's enough of me yapping about what you're about to watch. Let's just get into it. Hell yeah. Oh man. Okay. Wow. Alright. We did it. With 5 minutes left or something like that. Dude, the power of Mastery Core 3 and 4. That was crazy. I thought we would get pretty close. I didn't think we'd get 1 life for the last like 8 minutes close. So, damn. That was close. Wow. Really glad we were able to do that. Took me 2 tries. The first one, I kind of just was greeding for damage as much as possible. I ended up dying to the laser beam like 5 times. So, unfortunate, but we ended up getting it. Second try. Not too bad. Let's, fingers crossed for an arcane. That would be obviously way too much. We don't deserve that. All right, cool. Well, that was awesome. I'm actually really glad we did that. All right, so I kind of just decided this randomly, really no reason other than I felt like it was kind of time. We are getting closer and closer to the end of the Challenger World progression, as in we're getting pretty close to Diamond. So because of that, I figured I would start collecting some of the rewards so I didn't have to do it all at once. So whenever we claim these rewards, really the only thing actually to claim is the Legion Growth Potion. We already claimed the other stuff on the other world. So for anyone that doesn't know, this Legion growth potion, this is practically the only reason a lot of people even go to Challenger World. It gets your character from level 1 to 200 immediately, as long as they can, you know, have access to it. So let's claim these. There we go, 10 fat bonk potions. Alright, so that is how you do it. A lot of people were doing the just hitting agree, because that is honestly pretty typical, is all you got to do is type agree. But that is not the case for this, for whatever reason. So a lot of people got duped by that, unfortunately. So anyways, we do have to go actually use these on the characters. So I had to buy a bunch of character slots, and we have our army of JMs, and now we have our army of little noobs. So I made all 10 of these characters. I accidentally made this one, and I need to delete them, actually. Kind of a funny little funny little thing, because he's actually not a DB. I made him as a thief, and I forgot DBs are their own separate thing, so I will make a DB later. Anyways, I have all these characters, and they need to get to level 200. I got them all far enough into their stories where this should just be a simple open of the stash and a drink of a potion, and that'll get us to 200. Let's see this magic. I've never used one of these before. It's a little exciting. So we're level 10. Checking out the details. It's 700 combat power. And now level 200, technically as a beginner. Alright, that is pretty good. I liked that. I liked that a lot. So I am not going to be going through the quest line to become a mechanic right now. That'll take a little bit too long. I'm just going to blast through these 10 characters real quick. I forgot to show my original total level was 5172. Let's see what we can get it to.
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
And just like that, there we go. So we got all of our characters up to 200. Let's go check them out in the actual panel so we can see our army of noobs are no longer an army of noobs. We got them all to 200. So we got our mech, wild hunter, BM, blaster, hero, buck, shed, fire, poison, ice, and bishop. So I'm going to go through and actually get them into their jobs, because currently I just have a bunch of level 200 citizens, which isn't really helpful. And also my characters do have to have their second job advancement, as you see here whenever I highlight over it, in order for it to actually count. So we do want these to actually count, which means we do have to go through and job advance all of them. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Alright, so just like that, we now have finished all of our characters. So as you can see, they are now properly named, all of their proper classes. It took a little bit longer, but once I got it down, it only took, I think, around 30 or 45 minutes to do all these classes. And in return, I got 71. There we go. We're looking at 2,000 extra total Legion level. So that's pretty good. That's pretty amazing. Honestly, I don't even know. But that was crazy. So we can talk to the Dame and level up our Legion rank, because we have probably not enough coins for how many levels we can actually get. 6,000, huge. And we can do the next one, 6,500. I don't know if we have enough coins for this next one. 920, I don't think we actually do. Oh, 1,000. Sad. So we finished our little Legion raid. We're able to get this done, and I think if we turn this quest in, we should be able to finally get the last rank of our Legion. Talk to her, Legion rank up 1,000 coins. There we go. That's awesome. We got so much Legion stuff from that. 7,100, that's an extra 2,000. And on top of that, we still have 10 more potions whenever I do get Diamond, which will hopefully happen relatively soon. In the meantime, I'm going to let these Legion coins rack back up because we went from 3k down to just 100. Alright, so as you just saw, we hit 275. That's super exciting after a big XP Sunny Sunday. I kind of was hoping to get 275, so that's really exciting. Honestly, shout out to Dave the Diver, the event. Pretty fun event just by itself, but also it gave me 2 Punch Kings today. For anyone wondering how I was able to do 2 Punch Kings, I got, I think, like 2 or 3 extra tickets from doing like the secret quest that gets you an extra ticket, and also on Sunday you get an extra ticket, and also I think I bought like 3 days worth of extra fishing, honestly, just because I really screwed up a few of the days. Kind of like got like 0 things one day. Anyways, this is super exciting. I've never got even remotely close to this far in the game, so this is pretty cool, and I got my own 275 chairs, so that is super exciting. I'm actually really happy about that. Unfortunately, I will have to ruin my perfect fame of 69 by you know, I'm sure someone else will fame me for the buff eventually, whenever, you know, I'll post up next to Zach or something like that. But that is cool. That is you know, we got an extra 4 bill meso off of this Sunday just from how much we were grinding, and we got a decent amount of fams, but not as much as I would have wanted. I have a few fams that I have not tiered up, and I really need to, but I'm not going to have enough fams. And we're going to be going to a new area, probably one of my favorite looking areas from the very, you know, few things that I've seen about it, and that's going to be Shangri-La. So I've never been to this place. I've seen pictures. It looks cool. I'm excited to get to it. So let's go over there, and just so happy about 275, honestly. That was a huge milestone for me and this account, and honestly just Challenger World. This is what pretty much we've been working towards this whole time. This was the goal, was getting to 275, because that means in just a few days here I'm gonna finish the challenge. So I don't know what this means for the series or for the account. Am I done on this character? Am I gonna just work on Chronos stuff? Because I am gonna hit Diamond. That was our end goal from whenever we started this series. So the fact that we're here, 275 knocked out, only 500 away, which is, it's really just 2 check-ins. Okay, realistically it's 3 check-ins, but you know what I mean. So it's just a few check-ins, we will have Diamond. I don't really plan on going for Challenger, but I mean, that could be the next challenge. Let me know what you guys think. I'm just excited to finally be here and to finish the challenge, you know, kind of going in without really knowing what to expect. So we were able to finish everything we wanted, and it's kind of bittersweet, but that's the end of it. Alright, so this is essentially just going to be a quick little PSA for anyone that is like me. For whatever reason, I have this stigmatism against Threads of Fate. I really hate Threads of Fate. I think it's because I did the entire quest line on like 2 characters a long time ago. It takes hours, it's annoying, and the boss is not the easiest. It's definitely not an enjoyable fight. Anyways, so I finally did Threads of Fate. I unlocked the first 2 characters, which is Ibaraki and Takeno Konoko. I got Takeno's almost up to Ask. I just need to gift her. And I got Ibaraki up to Ask. And luckily, you know, super lucky, you want minerals or herbs, and this guy asked to chop wood. So that was perfect because that gives you herbs. So it actually wasn't as bad as I remember. That's kind of just how it seems to go, because I kind of felt the same way about the Princess No quest, but actually it was pretty quick, especially because I did a lot of damage, so everything just got one shot. Way better than I remember doing. So I guess this is kind of just a PSA to say, if there's like quests or some type of content you really hate for whatever reason, just go back and try it again unless you've done it recently and know you hate it for sure. because doing this again wasn't too bad. I thought I was getting by just okay by doing the auto harvest system, which I kind of was. I was able to get, 18 WAPs for this past Sunday, and I used 4 of them on Sunday, so this is a good amount and it'll last me the week probably. That being said, it's just nowhere near Threads of Fate. I did a single day of doing asks for Ibaraki, and in that one day's time, I was able to get, let's check it out here. We go to Wealth Acquisition Potions. I was able to get 90 berry seed oils, which is probably more than I've gotten through the auto harvest system combined for all of the weeks I've been playing in a single day. Kind of insane. So yeah, that was the PSA. Just maybe try Threads of Fate if you, even if you hate it, because I mean, I'm glad I did it, even though I hate that stuff. 260, finally on the Sia. It's taken quite a few days of just doing it, Monster Park and dailies and stuff like that, but we finished it well within the window. I'm not even going to finish the rest of my Monster Parks for this character. I'm not really sick of this character, but I definitely don't want to continue it any longer than I have to. I like this character, but big but is that honestly, I'm just not a big fan of the movement or lack of movement on this class. I kind of have never really liked TP classes because of that. Like, there's no double jump, I can't really move around super easily. I like that it has an air stall and stuff like that, but movement is a big part of classes for me. I like Zero a lot because it kind of has the best of both worlds. It has the double jump, but it also has the TP, so that's nice. But this class kind of just is good. The damage is undeniable, just not super... Honestly, just definitely not my type of character. So we are going to shelf this character. I will continue doing dailies on different characters, but this character is done. And since it is done, we can finally celebrate with Christmas. Our final rewards. Our Christmas rewards, and also these ones up here. Nice. The only reason we did all that. And also, finally, we can open our login rewards. Ending off with a bang with our Giga Christmas box opening. We didn't end up buying this Fashion Pass, which is cool because, like I said, I'm not going to play this character anymore, so we don't really need to. Alright, cool. So that's it. I'm going to give all my XP node stones to my Mojuan, and actually pretty much just everything to my Mojuan, and then I will be able to... I'll finish 6th job on this character eventually, and I'll have a level 5 Burnium symbol ready to go. And I'll throw on whatever these coupons are, and then as well as give away these Erda and the potential scroll. Just going to put it in the storage so I don't forget. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this character. I'm glad to have played it. Had a good time playing it. And I will continue to do weeklies and stuff like that, but that is the end of this character's story. Kind of bittersweet, kind of sad, winding down, coming to an end. I would recommend this class. It is a good class. It is a fun class, especially if you like TP characters. But like I said, that is not me, so I will not be continuing this character. But yeah, that's it. So this is Chaos Darknell, and this is the boss that I chose to do next after Sea Gloom. There was obviously just a few more options. I had tried Lucid a few times, but really just couldn't break Phase 3. Not enough damage. I'm more of a DPM class, and that's just too much to ask, especially since I didn't take Roar 4 or anything. Also, on top of that, I just hate Will. I still haven't done it, and I'm probably going to finish Challenger World without having done Hard Will, which is totally fine, because I'm just not a fan of that boss. So I figured I'd leave the last, 10 minutes of this boss fight up, just to, show everyone what it's like. Not, for any other reason than I see people constantly struggling with this boss, and what to do, or how to deal with certain parts of the mechanics. And I'm not gonna lie, this boss is really difficult sometimes. It just seems like sometimes the stars align in the reverse direction for this boss. I think whenever I went to re-clear this boss the next week, it took me like actually 5 or 6 hours to re-clear it again. Just because every time I walked into the boss, I just felt like I got the most brutal combos and would die pretty much repeatedly, right around half HP. So it kind of is really just a endurance fight for the most part. If you can survive, chances are you can kill this boss. If you obviously have the damage for like Sea Gloom, this is just a super giga endurance fight. It sucks because it does take a lot of time and a lot of concentration, or at least it does for me, especially right around this CP, which I think I was around 35 mil at this point. And overall, this fight is a good fight. It is a fun fight. I like having to think on my toes and predict what he's going to do based on what he just did previously, or what is or isn't on cooldown. You know, knowing that his full map attack is on cooldown, or he did it recently, is nice because that means I can play further away without having to be scared. That's more of a, you know, just a survival tactic, because sometimes I just run away because I know that the middle of the screen can get really, really crazy. So that's just a couple of things I noticed. Overall, cool fight. I like this fight. I like it more than Hilla, for example. And I really was committed to doing this fight. I think I did try this fight like 7 or 8, maybe even more times. I was even running out of supplies because I was trying it so often. And it was really just because I didn't want to finish this series going into Diamond, at least, on check-ins. If I got 3 more check-ins the next week, I would have got Diamond. That is a certainty, that is a fact. But it felt kind of lame in my eyes. Not lame like that's, you know, not a good goal to have, but lame as in like, that was our end goal from the beginning. Our end goal was to just see how close to Diamond we could get, and the fact that it was so close, and to get it through just check-ins didn't feel right. We're here to kill bosses. Even though this is solo progression, we're here to push our character and kill as many new bosses as we possibly could. I never had killed Chaos Darknail. So this was quite an experience. It's the exact same as regular Darknail, except everything hits way harder, and it's really easy to get comboed out by practically any 2 different attacks. So if you get hit with 2 attacks, good chance you're dead. That's just how it is in this fight. If your health bot is on cooldown, that is. If not, then you might get 3 attacks. Overall though, it's a cool fight, it's a good fight, and I'm super glad I committed to doing this boss. It was really, really rewarding. Send me out, dude, please. Oh my god, yes. Oh my god. Yo, that took like 6 tries or something, man. That took like, I don't know, maybe 7 tries. I used so much stuff. Oh, god dang it. That is what I'm talking about. We are going out with a bang. I sent 3 hours straight of this boss just because I really didn't want the season to go out in not a bang, and it definitely would have gone out kind of too quiet for my taste if I just collected the weekly points and got Diamond that way. I knew I could do this. It was just going to take quite a bit of time and effort, and me just really learning the boss. So we're about to get what we deserve. 284. Make sure we I almost forgot about this. Oh man, that honestly, I didn't even get nervous towards the end like I normally do, because I had been here for so long. I felt so comfortable with the boss. I was like, there's no way I have 2 lives with this much HP left and I die out. There was no possible way. So alright, We got all that. 264. Feel like I'm missing something. Feel like I'm missing something. What am I missing? Definitely. I'm normally 284. Oh, it's because of the wealth acquisition potion. It's all good. 264. That's plenty. Now let's get what we deserve. All right, check out this arcane weapon. Oh, is it a bot? No. Oh my god. Yo. We got what we deserve. Yo. H, Dark Down, and Arcane Wep. Same kill. GG. Holy crap. Yo, that is awesome. The luck, dude. I'm officially a lucker dog. Damn, that is crazy. Yo, get what we deserve. That is sick. Oh man. That is what we wanted to go out on. We did not want to go quiet into that night. If I claimed 2 more or 3 more of these, I would have gotten 3 or 30k. Nah, we went for the H. Herkinel. Oh man. I'm so happy we ended up getting that. There we go, dude. Diamond. We got the diamond, dude, and we also got the butterfly. Classic. Let's take off, yeah, that is crazy. Let's take that off. Put this on. Okay, I guess I lied. I didn't think I was shaking, but I'm shaking a little bit now. That is sick. Oh man. And let's throw on, definitely gonna throw on the headpiece. Definitely the cape. Shoes for sure. And the weapon. Oh, that looks so good. This is the whole reason we did it. I don't care about anything else. And well, that's it for this episode. Definitely went out with a bang. I'm so happy that we got that. It was quite an insane moment. I was pretty overwhelmed. Didn't really know how to feel about that, just because not only did we get H Dark, we were able to get Diamond like we had wanted to since the very beginning 2 months ago. On top of that, our first arcane piece, and it's a weapon. Just getting the weapon alone I think was a few million CP boost, so that is just gonna enable us to do other bosses and hopefully in a reasonable time. That was so exciting. Just even reliving that as narrating was pretty awesome, just seeing that again. Yeah, that was way more than I could have ever expected or wanted, so glad that it turned out well. And that is going to be it for this episode. So hopefully you all enjoyed it, and we still have one more left. So not a ton of progression remaining, but I did save a bunch so that we had a nice wrap-up finale of an episode. I hope you guys have all been enjoying this series, this progression, and this character. I've been loving the Wind Archer. I'd highly recommend it for anyone looking for a extra character or even a main, a bossing mule, whatever. Honestly, it just seems to thrive well in pretty much anything that I choose to do, especially the grinding. So if you do want to main this character or get him to a decently high level, I would highly recommend this character for that at the very least. For bosses, it is nice, can be forgiving, has great movement, surprisingly, and as you can see, it can do what it needs to do when it's, you know, really required. So shout out to H Dark for hooking me up, and also shout out to you all for watching. Hopefully you all enjoyed it, and if you did, then I'll see you